Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and welcome to another random number generator chooses what I read for the week. So I am doing a little bit of a spin on this one. My husband got me this really fancy, beautiful little dice spinner over the weekend. So on this side we have the D20, the D10, and the D8. And then on the other side we have our D12, D6, and D4. And so the way that I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to use the D20 side, and I'm going to take this number and add it with this number. So it'll be like in this instance it would be 200 if it shows up right here. So that's kind of how I'm gonna do this. I know it's a little bit weird, but if you have any recommendations for how I could do this better, I thought about just taking the top number from the D20 and multiplying it times 5, but that's a lot of math to do on the fly. And so I don't know how that's gonna go. It's maybe not quite as random as a random number generator, but this thing is absolutely gorgeous and I wanna be able to use it. So this is what we're going to use to choose how many pages I'm going to read each day. The book that I'm going to be starting for this video, I have decided that I am going to jump into Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This is the thickest book that I have on my TBR, and I am very excited to get into it, but I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know how I'm going to like it. I also have two other books going right now. I'm reading A Fading Blood, and I just started the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook by Matt Dinneman, and Fading Blood by Daniel L. Jensen. I'm not very far into either one of these, but I'm gonna have these as kind of like on the side. After I read my pages in Quicksilver, I can either continue that one or pick up one of these, but I wanted to be able to talk primarily about this one in this video from start to finish with you guys without having to backtrack and update and whatnot. So this is going to be what I'm going to focus on for this video. Hopefully I'll be able to get higher numbers or at least be able to exceed my number limit that I get for this, but we're going to see how this goes. This is obviously the first time I'm using this, so it's all going to be like trial and error. So that being said, I am going to record it on my phone so that way I can keep this going without messing up my angles and talking in between. But we're gonna set it up with the D20 right here next to me, and we'll do our first spin to see how many pages I will be reading today. This thing spins for a long time. So we have 19. Really? That's it? So what I'm going to do in this instance is I'm going to make the extra challenge for myself, and I'm going to do the 1, let's see here, the 1, the 9, and the 1, and we're going to do 191 instead of 19, because 19 is just too easy. So 191 will be our first number for today. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we will read So for tomorrow, for Tuesday, we will be reading 76 pages. Wednesday, we will be reading 80 pages. And Friday we will be reading 115 pages. Okay, so writing things down in my journal, I realized that I only spun 4 times, so I'm going to spin the last time right now. Okay, so Friday will be 128. So I think that's a pretty good mix. It's not super low, it's not super high, and I think that'll make it a lot easier to really get a good jump on Quicksilver, and I really hope that I like it. So 191 pages, I'm gonna get to reading, and I will come back and give you an update when I make some progress. So I've made some decent progress. It's later on in the day, and I have been reading Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I am on chapter 8, beginning of chapter 8, which is 106 pages into this. So I have less than 90 pages left to go today, and this book is wild. It is action-packed right from the very beginning. So we're following Sarys Fain, and she is a thief in what is called the Third Ward, which is basically the lowest like poverty level in this city. Her ward is quarantined because they supposedly have a plague, which is basically, they don't actually have a plague. There's nothing sick about them other than the fact that they are not able to get clean water. They're not able to get as much water or as much food. They're not privileged like the higher wards. And she is a thief. And this book starts out that she is actually in a fight with one of the guards, and she reveals that she is part of the Third Ward, and he instantly backs off like, I don't want to be touching you because I don't want to get sick. And then at one point, like, he pulls off his gauntlet, drops it. She takes the opportunity, takes the gauntlet, and takes off running because she figures she can melt it down, get rid of it, and sell it, and basically have her life set for her and her brother. And that just kind of spirals. She gets back to the Third Ward, and then kind of all hell breaks loose. And it basically ends up that she gets caught and taken to the queen, and the queen tells her, the guard that has her, to kill her and to make it painful and to basically torture her and kill her. And in that whole process, somehow she ends up pulling a sword to try and fight back against this guard, and the ground beneath her turns into a pool of quicksilver, turns into liquid, and it becomes a portal, basically. It's a lot. This is like a lot. So now Sarys is in a new realm. She has somehow miraculously survived the fight with this guard that would have left her dead. And now she is in this other world where fae are real things, real beings. And she is now with the princess of this fae realm, and we just met Kingfisher. So Kingfisher was the one who came through the pool, the portal, and grabbed Sarys and brought her back into the realm of the fae. And now he has been caught, and being outcasted as he is, he just barely makes it through with his life. He gets 1 week to try and basically spend his time with Sarys, teach her how to open up the portal on her own, and so that way the fae can get into her world, and for some reason. And then he is going to go to the front lines where they're pretty much assuming that he's going to die like within a week. So it's been a lot. The writing is so engaging. And like I said, it was action-packed right from the very beginning. I'm so intrigued by this book. I'm so curious to see what's going to happen. Like, I haven't really gotten a whole lot. We've just had a bit of world building, and then it kind of gets turned on its head because the portal element of this. So it feels kind of scattered right now with reading it, but I am really enjoying it so far. Like I said, I still have a long ways to go. Like, that's as far as I've made it. So I still have a long ways to go. And hopefully my explanation of kind of what's happening gets a little bit clearer as I go through this book, because right now I don't really know how to explain it. Because like I said, a lot has happened, and it feels like it happened really quickly. Like, I don't feel like I'm 100 pages into this book. So it's gone by very quick, and I'm very intrigued. So definitely enjoying this. Like I said, I'm about halfway or a little over halfway through my pages for today, but I wanted to come on and let you know that I'm making great progress. I tabbed in here kind of where I need to get to and like where I'm at for today. I did include, I'll have it in here somewhere. I did include that I actually only spun my little wheel 4 times, so I did it a 5th time. And I think this week is looking really good. I think it's going to be a great way to get through this book, because otherwise, like, I wouldn't have been sitting down and reading 200 pages in this today, or nearly 200 pages in this today, because it's very intimidating. This book is very long. This book is over 600 pages. So it's definitely intimidating, but I'm really curious to continue. And so far I'm enjoying the writing. And I'm like our main character. Ceres is feisty. She was taught how to fight by somebody. I'm not even sure who it was, but she was taught how to fight. So when she was fighting the guards because of the gauntlet, she took down, like, she killed 2 guards and maimed another, like she cut off his hand. And so she can fight. She definitely is not like a weak character by any means. And so I'm really enjoying her character so far. And she definitely has the outlook of like, okay, where am I? What the heck is going on? What am I doing here? And you know, kind of what you would expect when you go into a different realm for a bunch of fae that you thought were just a myth. So I'm definitely liking her character so far. We haven't actually met Kingfisher really yet. It's just barely, like, we've been introduced to him in the story and that's about it. So we haven't really met him yet, but I'm definitely intrigued of the characters in this so far and just really curious to see what happens next. So I'm gonna continue reading and maybe do some editing, because I need to start editing and getting things ready for the next couple of weeks for my videos. So that being said, I will talk to you guys later on. What's up? Good morning, guys. So yesterday I was supposed to read 191 pages in Quicksilver because of my little spinner dice that I got, and I did that. I accomplished it. I read 199 pages, so I'm on page 200 as of this morning, chapter 14, and so far I love their banter. Kingsilver is a cocky, just smart ass guy that has so much attitude, and he cracks me up. He's kind of a dick, but it's like in a way that you can kind of forgive him, because it's just like he's cocky and, you know, he's had a rough time of it. And so I'm really enjoying the banter in this so far. There was one point that they were together, him and Ceres. Kingsilver and Ceres were together in the forge in this Fae kingdom, and they were at the forge, and he does something that's kind of a dick move, and she gets through that, and then she turns around and punches him in the face. Like, she punches him in the face, gives him a fat lip, and she won't tell the girl, what was her name? Everlane, won't tell Everlane why she punched him. She's like, what is wrong with you, Everlane? She was like, what is wrong with you? You punched a fae, and he is not only a fae, but an unstable fae that he could lose his shit at any minute. And she was just like, he deserved it. It's okay, he deserved it. But she won't actually tell Everlane why she did it. And it just cracks me up, because she'll fight him back for being a butthole, and I love that. So far I am really, really enjoying this. There is definitely, I could see why this is portal fantasy, because the pool of Quicksilver is portals to other realms. And I was thinking about it because I didn't think that I had ever read any portal fantasy, but it just so happens that Dragonheart Legacy, the Dragonheart Legacy series by Nora Roberts that I read, the first book was The Becoming, and that was actually a portal fantasy, and I never realized it. I never really thought about it that way. So I actually have read portal fantasy before, and I just didn't realize it. Didn't really think about it. But I am really enjoying this. I am 200 pages in. My number for today is 76, so I'm going to try my damnedest to get that. I think with how quickly I'm getting through this, I think I can do it. I just haven't read it all yet this morning. So it is currently 7:43 right now, and I am headed to town to do a shitload of laundry. We need to get our sheets and things washed, so that takes a larger washing machine. And so I'm headed to town to get some things done. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to get our sleeping bags washed and ready for camp. But in amongst everything, I am going to try and get some editing done if possible, and I'm going to get some reading done as well. So my number today, like I said, is 76. So I put my little tab in here for where I need to get to today, right here. It's hard to see because it's not wanting to focus on it, but I have my little tab right there, so that way I know kind of where I'm shooting for. I try and finish out the chapter at least when I'm doing things like this, because I like being able to end on a chapter break. It just makes it easier for me. And so yeah, that's kind of how things are going. It's going really well. I'm really happy with it. I'm really glad I made as much progress as I did in this yesterday, because I was a little bit concerned that I wasn't going to be able to meet the pages or get super as into this book, but I've read quite a bit. I'm like a third of the way through it, or I will be, I think, I'm about a third of the way through it right now. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a great time, and I'm excited to continue. So that's the plan for today. I'm going to try and get some B-roll of anything that I do. I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything interesting to get B-roll of, but we'll see what happens. So anyways, that's it. That's what I got going on today. So I'm going to get going, and I will talk to you guys after a while. Hello. It is now Thursday. I did not update you at all yesterday. I spent my entire morning at the laundromat washing our sleeping bags and trying to get those dried for hunting over the weekend and camping. But yesterday, hold on, let me backtrack. So Tuesday, I was supposed to read 76 pages. I only read 29. And so yesterday, since my page count was only 80 pages, I figured I would add on the extras, which was 47. So I had to read 127 pages yesterday. I got that by like the skin of my teeth. I read 130 pages yesterday. So I did make it up, and I caught up. I really enjoy this. I don't like it as much as Shield of Sparrows. There's a few things in here that have kind of irritated me. Our main character, Saris, she grew up and always has lived in like a really intense desert climate where there are two suns, and they are always up, and so there's a lot of things that she hasn't seen. And then she goes through this portal, and she's now in the Fey world at the Winter Palace. So she's experiencing a lot of things for the first time. One of those things that she's like, oh my God, what is that? And they tell her, well, it's snow. And I was like, really? And then there's the same instance with a fox, that there is a fox in the forge that she's going to be working in. And she's like, oh my God, what is that? And they're like, well, yeah, it's a fox. It's fine. It's, it's a wild animal. It's a fox. No big deal. And so there's just little things like that it's just kind of like, really? And she even, like, she's never seen stars before. And so stuff like that is kind of annoying, because like she says that her mom worked in a library, and so she had access to like all these books and that she could do all this reading, but she's never like heard of a fox or stars or snow. Like it seems a little odd to me, but it was kind of annoying. But other than that, I am really enjoying this. I'm liking the relationship between her and Kingfisher, and I felt like overall I'm really enjoying their relationship. It does feel at times like things are just kind of like thrown at you. Like they hate each other one second, and then the next they're just like out of the blue they start making out. And it just doesn't feel like super warranted in that like exact moment. And there are things with that, but at the same time, like, that they both have feelings for each other and that they're trying to hide that fact. So, I mean, it's not completely out of the blue, but it's just the way that she goes about it is just kind of odd at times. But overall, I am really enjoying this. My page count for today is 115 pages, and I actually just met that. I've read 118 pages so far, so I am on chapter 34, 477 pages into this. I'm going to try and read as much as I can tonight. It is only about 2 o'clock right now, so I don't have too much left of this, and I am really enjoying it. I think things are really gonna like kick off and pick up. Sorry, my hips are driving, like they're bugging me like crazy. So I keep adjusting. But I didn't update you at all yesterday because I came down with some kind of a bug and it laid me on my ass. Like, I feel like crap. And so I'm trying to get over that before this weekend, and have had no energy and no motivation. But I am, like I said, I am trying to read. Maybe as much as I normally would because I keep getting distracted. But I wanted to come on here and give you guys an update that I am really enjoying this. I don't know where it's gonna end up landing at. Like, I'm really excited to see what happens with the ending. I don't think I'm enjoying it anywhere near as much as Shield of Sparrows. But there is a part in here where she was like forging a sword, and I always like stuff like that in books. Like I said with Shield of Sparrows that I love the training in books, and with this one it's with her forging the sword. I think it's really interesting to see how she goes about that and what she does with it. So overall, really enjoying this, really curious to see how it's going to end. And I've got just a little over 100 pages left. I think it's like 130 pages or so left in this. So I'm going to try and keep reading this afternoon, get as far as I possibly can. But my page count for tomorrow is 128 pages. I don't know if I'll be able to get that or not because there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to be doing in preparation for this weekend and for hunting season next week. But I'm going to do my best. And at the very least, I do want to finish this book out for this video, even if I don't start something else. Even if I don't make 128 pages tomorrow, I at least am going to be finishing out this one for this video. I wasn't planning on just having it be a one book video, but with the way that this week is played out, I'm glad that I am at least reading this book. It is a chunky one. It is over 600 pages. So, I mean, that was the choice that I made in reading this for this video. But anyways, so I want to come on and let you guys know that I did make up for my lack of reading on yesterday, and I've already made my pages today. So I'm doing pretty good. So I'm gonna continue reading. I just took some Excedrin, so I'm hoping that'll kick in for my hips and for my cold. And so yeah, I'm just gonna go and kind of take it easy and try and continue to slowly prep for this weekend. I'm sorry, this isn't as high energy. Is Deadpool? Yeah. Of an update as I normally try and do, but I'm having a hard time, guys. I'm having a hard time. I'm exhausted. And I felt like I woke up so many times last night. Like, my daughter slept through the night more or less really well, but I felt like I just kept waking up. And I just was having a hard time because, like, it's all in my sinuses and I feel awful, and like the body aches, and it's just, I'm not doing good. So, like I said, I'm trying to kick this before the weekend, and hopefully it's really putting a dent in my videos because I was going to do a bunch of filming today and I just have not had the energy to do that because I have my TBR all started for December, so that way I can get that ready for you guys to schedule it. I have my video for tomorrow that I still need to edit. I have this video that I need to start editing, and I don't have the energy for any of it right now. But here we are. So I'm going to do what I can, and I'm just going to kind of give myself a break if I'm not feeling it. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to get this done for tomorrow at least, and then have this video for next week and my TBR for the following week. So I've got everything all planned out and ready to go. I just need to get my butt in gear and get some energy back because I'm dry again. But anyways, I'm gonna go keep reading. I'm gonna go chill. I'm gonna maybe try and doze off for a little bit before I have to go to the bus and get the boys. And yeah, we'll see how this goes, but I will come back and give you guys a final update when I finish Quicksilver. So I will talk to you guys later.
Hello and good morning all. I apologize. I got sick Wednesday of last week and it has really affected my voice. But I'm going to try and get through this to wrap up this video. I don't even know. It's been a few days since I talked to you. I think the last I talked to you was on Wednesday that I was supposed to read 127 pages, and I read 130 and I caught up. Now, Thursday, I was supposed to read 115 pages. I ended up reading a total of 217 pages. I've been reading Quicksilver. I know you guys know this, but it's been a few days for me, and again, being sick, I apologize. But I've been reading Quicksilver. Now, Friday, I was supposed to read 128 pages, and I did not do that. I did not read it all on Friday. However, on Saturday, I read a whole 25 pages, and I did finish Quicksilver. So I didn't fully win this challenge. I pretty well failed the end of the week, but I knew that was going to happen. However, I did finish Quicksilver. I really enjoyed this. I gave this 4.5 stars. It wasn't quite as top tier for me as Shield of Sparrows was when I read that. There were a few things in here that I felt like it kind of drug on, and there was a few things that kind of irked me, like her not even knowing what a star was or a fox was. So there were little things like that that kind of annoyed me, and I did feel like some parts kind of drug on. The ending of this book totally threw me for a loop. I was up at camp and I just picked up my book again. I was going to continue reading, and it went in like a whole direction that I wasn't even anticipating, and it was crazy. So I'm very, very excited to pick up the next book in this series. I'm definitely going to be continuing on, but it wasn't quite 5 stars for me. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet because this is really difficult for me to actually even project this much to talk right now. So I am going to keep this short and sweet, but overall I did really enjoy this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for being here, hanging out with me for a little bit. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.